my beautiful creatives, and welcome to my art studio. My name is Chrissie B. I'm a creativity coach, hoping to inspire and empower you to live a more creative life every day. If you are new to my channel, welcome. It is so great to have you with us. Today, I'm going to be playing in my altered book. Now, I have chosen a Reader's Digest Illustrated Guide to Gardening, and if you want to know how I got started, I will link that video down below. But I thought it would be fun to just kind of do a continuation, show you a little bit what I've been doing, and to do a little bit more playing on camera. So let me see if I can zoom that out so you can see what I'm doing. And I have a whole mess of stuff around me because I am finding that I'm using this altered book as kind of a collage-y kind of book. I am doing a little bit of journaling in it, but for the most part, I'm doing a lot of collages, cutting out of magazines and different imagery that I find. I'm putting some photographs in. There's some stickers, markers, doodling. Yeah, there's all sorts of goodness in here, and I'm so in love with this process. It's a lot of fun. It's very easy and relaxing. I don't really have a plan when I start doing any of my pages. This is one of my girls that I have drawn, and I gave her some antlers. It was my very first one I had ever done. I thought that was such a cool look. She's not quite finished, but I do these in layers, and I kind of add things to them, and then when I either get bored or stuck or I get frustrated with the process, I kind of close the book and then come to it another day and do some more. So that's kind of what this is so far. I've added lots of cool stuff, I think. I mean, I'm really in love with this whole process, even though I haven't done very much in this book. I'm trying to do some tip-ins so I can have some clean space to do some journaling. I also have been using, I'm trying to use not only my stash of art supplies, but I have a very, very, very large collection of magazines, and I'm trying to go through them with a critical eye and look at them like I'm shopping for art ephemera, like imagery and colors and whatnot, and cut those out and put those into this book as well. So this book has just really been becoming a place of just playing and relaxing, and I thought that I would just continue going on with where I've left off. And like I said, all of these pages are really just kind of like I glue some imagery down and I walk away. Maybe I'll add some washi, then walk away. I will then add stickers or words or text of some sort. I'll add photographs after the fact, and then maybe I'll come back and add like watercolor to the background, or maybe I'll use some of my distress stains to add some color to the background. You know, I really like doing that. Look how bright that is. Whew. I actually don't remember what I used to do this, but it is so bright and vivid. I absolutely love it. I'm a little afraid to put anything on top of it now, but I will. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing, and I thought I would just play today. Let me show you what I have in my, I mean, I know that you can only see like this much of my art table, but I actually stand at a 6-foot art table, and it is covered. There's so much stuff here. I've got all different kinds of Project Life cards. I've got some blank Project Life cards. I've got a ton of like, I don't even know what you call this stuff. Just like weird little cutouts and die cuts and little things I've been collecting. I've had this forever. It's a K & Company Smash. That's when Smash booking was really, really popular. I thought I could do that, but I am so, maybe not now, but back then when I first was interested in doing a Smash book, I was so linear. Everything had to be like exactly beautiful and exactly lined up that I had a really hard time coming to terms with this, but I loved all the stuff, so I collected it because I'm that kind of crazy. So I've got lots of that. I've got my watercolor palette, which I know you've seen before. Love, love, love that. I've got some round punches, different sizes, because I have it in my head that it'd be really kind of cool to take some magazine images and cut like perfect circles out and do like cool circle, at least something or other there. I have my Fiskars paper cutter. This is awesome for doing straight lines really, really quickly, which is awesome. I love that. Let's see what else. Oh, I also have this mammoth box of stuff. I've got like decorative papers. These are like, I have a whole collection over there. You can't see it, but over there I have like, I don't know, 12 totes of 12 by 12 paper. But these are the papers that I pulled out because they were my favorite, or they were specialty papers that I had found at this art supply store I used to shop at all the time. Just lots of really great textures, a lot of handmade papers, hand stamped papers, very textural. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. These have been in my stash forever, but really one of my favorite things to do with my altered book is to use my stash to figure out how to like put these elements in, and not only use my stash this way and all my Project Life cards that I've had forever and ever. Never done Project Life, but I've just been in love with the cards, have been since they first came out. So I have lots of those. Let's see if I can dig through here. I have a lot of stickers that I've cut out of different art magazines. I have cards from art magazines, imagery. I have some cool inspirational thoughts from my page a day calendar, which is You Are a Badass. I love this so much because sometimes I'm having a bad day and I need to hear that I'm a badass when I'm not feeling so hot about myself. So I thought some of these would be really cool to put into my altered book. That's what this box is about. It's basically just like hoarding all of this stuff. I've got photographs. I don't know why I have photographs in here, but I have a ton of photographs that I have been collecting from all over. More Project Life cards. A lot of these are just magazine things I've clipped out of magazines. Yeah, it's all very random. There's a lot of it. There is a lot of it. I've got like crazy, that's a, what do you call that? It's like a banner of stars. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I have some maps, receipts. Yeah, Mama's got choices. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. And I have so much stuff in here now that I've realized I'm going to have to sort it out into different boxes. And thankfully I have 3 of these boxes, only one of which is being used at the moment. So I will get that sorted out for another day. So let's put all this back in here. So that's kind of like my bucket of fodder I can pull from. I've also, like I showed you with that one lady I had drawn with the antlers, I'm really also trying to incorporate some of my own artwork into my altered book. I actually drew her on a piece of watercolor paper, and I drew her out with pencil, and then I started playing with some watercolors and then did some pencil, and I'll continue playing with her a little bit. She still needs more layers to kind of like make her done in my mind. And then once I was happy with this much of her, I just cut her out and I glued her down, and I just love her. She's awesome. So I'm trying to do a lot more of that. So these are all things that I do sitting on my couch at nighttime when I'm, you know, vegging out for the night or watching a show with my husband, and just kind of creating stuff to add to the collection. The last thing that I've got a lot of at my fingertips is this little handy dandy box I had gotten from Michael's. I got it for 50% off, which was awesome, and which meant it was about $20 with all of the little inserts. And these are all of my photographs. So I have a box of photographs for different topics. I do have a stack of photographs sitting next to me as well that I need to get put away. Most of my imagery, most of my photographs have either come from freeprints.com, which I've talked about many times before. It's an app on my phone. It actually does cost me about $10 a month because of all the shipping, but that is getting like the whole, like 100 prints or something like that, so that's pretty awesome. And I can make those stretch if I use an app on my phone to create different collages, and then instead of just, you know, getting one print, I can end up with 3 or 4, however many I get on my image. So that's pretty cool. So I can get them all different sizes. I have them broken out by, essentially this is like my family and my friends. This one is artwork from people online that inspire me. This is all imagery of people and fashion and things that I think are really cool, motivation, inspiring to me. These are all words, photographs of like thoughts and motivational, you know, things to see. These are all, what are you? Oh, these are all like lifestyle type things, or pictures I didn't really know how to classify, but they're just beautiful to look at. And then this one is more art. So I'll have more to put away as well. So that's kind of what my stash looks like right now. I have also because I'm in my art studio, I have a ton of washi tape. I've got washi tape over there on the wall, over there. I have 4, I used to have 3, but now I have 4 big hoops of washi. Here's what one of those hoops look like right now. This is all like my fancy schmancy Etsy Jane Davenport washi. Love it. This is my favorite at the moment. I've got quite a few of those. I've got paint pens at my disposal, which are like my Posca paint pens. I've got a lot of those, different sizes. I have paint brushes, scissors, glue, markers. Yeah, I've got everything I could possibly think of, plus more. You don't need this much to do this altered book, but it's kind of what I keep at the ready just in case. And it's really with the idea that I just want to use my stash. So the way that I'm going to start today, I think, because as you know me, I don't really ever have a plan. I love how colorful this one is. But let's just start on a new page. Okay, let's grab some papers out of the stash. I like this bright. I think this is actually from an art magazine, and it's just a picture of like somebody's textile art. So it's got a lot of yarn and different kinds of weird threads and stuff on it. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this crazy, this is homemade paper, handmade paper from an art store here. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I technically like it, but I'm going to use it anyways, because I think we can make it work. And I'm just going to pull a few things out, see what kind of catches my fancy. Okay, let's start with that. Because as you can see, I've got lots to choose from. And I think for this page, I just kind of pulled some papers out that I thought I liked, and it kind of looks like it's going to be like a red, maybe a red, purple, blue, and this weird green. Yeah, I think it's a good start. And then I have to decide, like, how much do I use? Okay, let's just get started. I'm going to use a piece of deli paper as my gluing surface. A Yoo-Hoo glue stick, because that's my favorite. If you watch my channel at all, you know that that's the case almost all the time. My general rule of thumb is just don't think about it too much, just get it down. So I'm going to kind of put it there because that's where it's stuck first. And then, let's see, let's scooch this over a little bit. I have some of this, I don't know what is in this paper, but it's kind of got threads in it, and it's very, very, very thin. It's almost like it's handmade, I think, tissue paper. Don't know why I couldn't remember that at the moment, but I did. So it's a handmade tissue paper of some sort with some threads and whatnot in it. It's kind of cool. Let's put that there. This one is sticky because it's so thin. But I'm gonna go with it, call it good. I have this purple one too that kind of has a texture on it. So I'm not sure exactly where I'm gonna put it, but again, I find that this works out the best if you just don't think about it, if you just put it down. If you pick objects that you like, even though you don't know, maybe know why you like it, if you put objects that you like all together, they will work because they're yours. That one's kind of a, it's not quite cardstock feeling, but it does feel like more like a construction paper weight. Let's put this little guy down. I want to stick him right in the middle of this page, because I don't know, I just feel like it should go there. Let's see. He's gonna need a little more help sticking down, I think. I probably, if I would have thought about that one ahead of time, I probably would have used like an Aleene's tacky glue and stuck it down with that. But we're just gonna trust that the glue stick is gonna work. Here's another one of those weird tissue paper. This one almost feels like the type of paper that comes wrapped around a bouquet of flowers. But it's also one of those handmade with some fibers inside of it. Okay, and because I can, I'm going to use a little more of this fiber paper. That was that image of the magazine. I think I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to do another one over here. So I'll put this one here. I kind of want to line it up, but I don't want any of my edges to match, meaning I don't want this edge to line up with anything. I don't want this edge to line up with anything, although I say that and I see that up here it's kind of lining up a little bit. That's okay. And I didn't want this edge to line up with this edge here. I usually have a mess of a stack of stickers with motivational thoughts on it or empowering thoughts. And I do not have that with me today. But that's okay. Let's see, what do I want it? Like that? I want it like that. Again, try not to think about it too much, but I do have a tendency to stop and think about where I want different things placed. Now, normally I'd walk away from this, turn the page and do something else. But because you did watch me in my last video just do collaging, I wanted to kind of show you what I do next. And I'm going to do, actually I'm going to do one more collage piece because I really like this here in this page. And I really want some over here. I don't want too much. But I kind of like this funky flower. So I'm going to put it down there, I think. So let's glue. Oops, almost glued the wrong side. I've done that before and I feel stupid, but then I have to glue it down because I don't waste it. And it does use up stuff of my stash, which is, you know, part of what made me want to do this in the first place. I'm just gonna kind of crease, since this is so thick, this piece of paper is so thick, and this one's not, I'm just gonna kind of like burnish it with my fingernail and like really make it sit in that little, and if I was like crazy, I would like follow this, whatever this pattern's called. Help me out there, people. Whatever that pattern's called, I would like burnish it with my finger, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Next thing I'm gonna do is pull out my watercolor palettes, and I don't know, I think I'm liking this blue, but I really like this red as well. I'm just gonna pick a color, and I'm gonna use let's see, does it even say? It's a 3/4 inch flat brush, just one of my random brushes in my set. I don't really have any idea what it is. And then I also have a 12. I'm gonna grab my jar of water, and I'm going to set my paint palette off to the side. But I'm going to choose a color, and I think, I don't know, I can't tell you what color I'm going to choose yet. I'm just going to go. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flat brush, and I'm just going to add some water to my pages. And I don't want to add too much water because I don't want my pages to curl up quite a bit. For the most part, my altar book has been a very dry, medium book because I don't want the pages to curl too much. Unlike my soul book, which can curl all at once. Or even my travel notebooks. I don't mind my travel notebooks curling at all. I just want to put some color down, and I'm going to take I have a 10 round brush, and I'm going to use that to put some water down. And I think or the watercolor itself. I think I'm going to choose a purple. Well, let me start with this blue because I really like this blue a lot. I'm going to grab a color that I think will closely resemble that. And there's no like rocket science to this. I'm just putting it down, letting it move a little bit, do what it wants to do. Leaving a lot of white area so that I have room for other colors to go down, because I already know that I want to do a couple colors on this. Even though I don't really have a plan, a set plan in my head. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of red, which I say that out loud and it kind of freaks me out a little bit, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And I want it to mix with the blue a little bit to make a purple. And then I'm gonna come in with a purple and kind of just really make sure I have those three colors in my mix. And I'm not really cleaning my brush in between. I just really want to just keep it kind of, not muddy necessarily, but I want the colors to really mix together. And these colors, because it's watercolor, they will mute down as it dries. It won't be quite as bright. I think it'll still be cool, but it won't be quite as crazy bright. Just add a little bit over here. So I think for the most part that's fine the way it is. And I'm going to use my heat tool and I'm going to dry this. Now that my page is completely dry, I did actually end up blotting a few parts off because I was sick of waiting for them to dry. You know me, I'm so impatient. Then I took it upon myself to choose a few things out of this enormous pile of stuff that I have around me to save time and to, you know, save you from having to watch me go through this crazy process. Now I'm just going to figure out how I want to lay it all on my page. I chose this. You know, this page has so many colors on it, and honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I'm going to keep going with it because this is generally how my pages go. I am a little bit terrified until it's all done, and then I absolutely end up loving it. But I want to do a tip-in over here. I also want to do a tip-in over here. And these tip-ins will be used for journaling. I want to be able to journal on the back of that one, and I want to be able to journal on the back of this one, although this is the one that tells you where in your life book to put it. So in your project life book. So I have a blank one that I'm going to glue these together so I have some lines. And I thought the black and white would give your eye a rest, but then I have this crazy zany one over here. So I'm not sure really who I'm kidding, but, and I have this little scrap from an art retreat I went to with Brave Girls, and I'm not sure if I want to put this here or if I want to put it on here. But it's a sing your bravest song. And that's why we're just kind of like auditioning where things are going to live. I also thought because this page was so colorful and happy that I put a picture of me and two of my aunts on here with me because I love my girls. They mean the world to me. And then I have a couple other things that I might audition. A piece of art that I found online, just Google. I just thought that was such an intriguing idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to glue this one in or if I'm going to like take this idea and find my own imagery and do my own doodling around it, because that's kind of what it looks like. This is something called a truth card. It says, "Dear Chrissy, your wings are unfolding. Can you feel it?" I actually started that a long time ago and never actually finished it. I thought about using this card, but I don't want to like, I like that it's black and it kind of gives your eye a break. But I also really like all of the crazy, colorful, holy moly that's happening here. And then I have this little thing that says courageous on it, so I want to use that. And I really haven't decided, so when okay, then the other thing I have to think of tipping this out. If I'm gonna journal it, now all of my journaling, I do my journaling at nighttime, and I usually do it on the couch, not in my art studio. If I have this tipped out this way, there's not gonna be anything sitting, it won't be sitting on anything to journal on because it'll be hanging off of the page. If I tip it in this way, if I tip it down, I don't know, does that matter? And I am gonna use this one. And I think that's why I chose this one, because it's got this awesome blue on the back of it. You know what? I'm not gonna stress about that too much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue my little images together. Let me grab my deli paper again. Right here. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue my little birdie onto this colorful piece of paper, which will then be my tip in. And I've already chosen a purple washi tape that I'm going to use to adhere it to my page. Kind of get that straight-ish. Don't know if it's terribly important that it's straight, but I kind of like it straight-ish. I'm also going to glue these two Project Life cards back to back. I can choose to have my lines going horizontal or vertical. It's totally up to me. And because this one is gonna sit oriented landscape, I want this one oriented portrait, which means I want my lines to be straight side to side that way. So let me glue those together. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. Kind of get those lined up. Not being too perfectionistic about it, but I would like them to at least sit straight. And then I'm also going to glue my little courageous on there because I love it. Love it. That was in that Smashbook pack. It was actually on like this. It looked like they were a bunch of like circles, but then I flipped it over and saw that they were actually punch outable. So I just chose one of those to use. And again, this is just all like doing something different, but also using up my stash, which I have a lot of. So that'll be a tip in there, I think. Now I love this image of my aunts and I, but it's very muted compared to how bright and colorful everything else is. So I think I probably have to think about that. And I'm gonna have this tip in, tip upward like this. So I know that you probably can't see this on camera, but it is a purple tape that has kind of another shade of purple henna-y kind of design on it. So let me just take some of that and get that put down like so. And my rationale for choosing this is because of all the purple elements on my page. I thought it would kind of go well with these little guys. And that's one thing I never remember to think about when I'm doing tip in, is you want the tip in to be able to actually flip up and down. So, I mean, there's a way you cut it to like make it kind of like a joint, but I really much rather prefer to have the tape cut as close to the same width as the piece of paper that I'm tipping in or out as possible. It just makes your life a little bit easier. So on the inside, I'm making it a little bit shorter. Like so. Kind of moosh that down. Give that a really good creasing. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, although I did not think about it, because if I would have realized that I was tipping that there, I'm going to do it anyways, but I would have moved the courageous in just a little bit. And because of that, I'm going to put this tape, hopefully, put this tape very close to the edge on this side, and I'm going to have to cover a little more of the journaling side to compensate, because I don't want this to lift off of my page. And oops, I didn't do that straight, but seriously, when do I ever cut anything straight? Okay, I'm just gonna kind of fudge that a little bit, make it look like it's straighter than it actually is. And aunties, you are going there, which means you are going there. And I'm gonna do one more piece of tape there to make sure it's really going to stay and not come off. And I'm gonna trim both sides of this. Okay, so there we go for that one. Now, this little guy is bugging me because I think he's super, super crooked, and he's gonna have to stay super, super crooked because I'm not taking that off. That's okay. And let's glue the anties down. Now, I would sometimes use like a tape roller. I don't have a tape roller near me. So I'm going to use a glue stick. And I'm gonna be kind of generous with it so it really will stick. And I might even washi down a couple pieces just for good measure. And because I really like this black and white, I'm gonna pull a black and white washi real quick, which is off of this roll of washi. And because I just decided I'm going to use polka dots, because polka dots, you may not know this, but polka dots are my absolute favorite texture. I love them so much. They make me super happy. And I am gonna cut the end, but I've already decided in my head that I'm gonna take this and tear it down the middle, long ways. And I'm gonna put one strip here, and I'm gonna put one strip here. Then to repeat this dotty pattern, my polka dotty pattern, I want to put a little bit over here as well. And I think I'm going to do it up on this little guy up here because, I don't know, that's just kind of what my self is saying. Yeah, it should go there. And where did that go? Oh, there it is. The only problem with having so many washies, it's sometimes difficult to find it again when you have not kept it out in front of you. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to clip the end, but then I'm going to tear it down the middle long ways. Okay, and I'm going to put this one where? Let's do this. Let's see, where do I want it? I have to stop and think about this. I'm going to put this polka dotted small one, butt it up against the end there. See if I can get that to float along the edge of this tip in and trim off anything excess if I need to. And then this one, I'm going to do this way. And I'm going to raise it a little bit higher than this washi, just a little bit, to see if I can sort of make it look not quite so obvious that it's crooked. That is totally a lie I'm telling myself. I don't know if it'll work, it might not work. Then what I'm gonna do is I will come in here and I will add, not only will I add journaling, I will also add probably some stickers of like quotes or something positive or empowering, because I love that. Ooh, I have this one right here because I love my aunties. Love them, they're my girls. Don't want to cover my auntie at all. Let's see, where do I want you? I think that's where you're gonna go because I do love you. Let's see. And I have, there's black in here and white. I want to do the white background ones just because this is so colorful. And then I just found one. I was like, I don't know which one to put down. And this says, this is what family looks like. And I want to, I think I want it here on this little yarn thingy. And I want to cut it up a little bit so it's not just a straight line. So it says, this is what, and then family. I'm gonna say it looks like that. Now this has lots of doodling room, lots of room for doodling. Lots of room for journaling. Although this is a pretty busy page. I don't know if I would have done it this way again, but it's fun. Time spent with family is time well spent. There is no such thing for me as less is less. I'm always a less is more kind of girl, and I really like that a lot. It's not what I want to put on there though. There's all these little things in here. They're so cool. Honestly, I just got really obsessed with buying these little like things. I never knew what to do with them. And so honestly, it's been in this last week that I've opened them for the first time. So I'm just trying to see, is there anything that I want to, I don't know. I don't know. So many smiles begin with you. Always. Okay. I'm futzing too much. This is what happens when I get into my head. I spend so much time like, oh my gosh, this one, maybe this one. And I can stand here all day and then not realize that I have had like 6 hours of my life go by and I still haven't glued anything down. So I'm just gonna take a moment, stop, and glue things down. I love this love. It's got a little bit of sparkle on it. Again, it's one of those things I've had in my stash forever. I do want that there. It's touching one of my auntie's heads, but it's not covering her, so I'm okay with that. Then I may have to do a little more monkeying around with gluing that down. I'm hoping that once I close this and let it completely dry, that it will be good to go. I really like this little sentiment. So let's stop and put that down. Time spent with family is time well spent. And I kind of want it, just made the decision, I want it over this purple. Like that. Because I think because it's solid, it shows well. Premium quality memories, best value. And you are gonna give me grief. So I'm gonna grab my Aliens tacky glue, the fast grab version, and I'm just gonna put a little dot of glue down the spine of this thing. Let's try it one more time. One more time. You are going down whether you like it or not. And I actually store my tacky glue upside down in a glass. And I do that so that way when I am ready to use it, it is always ready. You don't have to wait a tremendous amount of time for the glue to come down. And I'm gonna, since this is also kind of a cardstocky weight, I'm gonna use this on this as well. It doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be on there. And honestly, I don't know, can I add anything else to this page? This poor paper. This poor page. So that's kind of my hot mess. I'm not sure I absolutely love it, but I love my aunties and I love the sentiment and some stories I will share in my little journaling for them because I love them immensely. These peeps, these girls are my peeps. And I think for now that's probably a good stopping point. Now mind you, I don't normally do an art journal page from beginning to end. I always do like all the collage. Then I come back another day and do like washi tape. And then another day I come back and then I'll add maybe color. Another day I'll come back and add my photographs. And then I'll come back and add maybe stickers. And that's when I come back. Finally, when I'm all done, is when I do my journaling and any like little doodling to kind of make me feel like the page is finished. So that one is a very busy page. It's a very bright, colorful, maybe deep colorful page, but I like it. I think that for my aunties, it totally fits them because every time I'm with them, we have such a fun time. We can pretty much do anything and have a blast together. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some good ideas. I would love to hear down in the comment section about any altered book that you may have done. I really enjoy this a lot. I enjoy the going through my stash and like rediscovering stuff that I've had forever and ever and ever and have been sitting on shelves and I have not even looked at them. So it's a lot of fun and I'm enjoying this process a lot. Again, this is kind of my nighttime hanging out on the couch watching TV with my sweetie. So don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. I'd love to have you be a part of the Beautiful Creatives family. And until next time, bye for now.